Hello friends, welcome to Career Plot. In this lecture, we are going to look at what are the various social media channels available and what exactly we mean by social media channels. Now, you would have been wondering that a social media channel is meaning only Facebook and Twitter. Let me explain you. Facebook is just one part of social media. It's not the complete media at all. Social media is defined as social media. Media means where people can communicate, people can read, people can write, people can talk to each other. That's what we call media. And social means people. People have to be there. So if you put social media together, there are a lot of options on internet which can be called as social media. So you cannot focus all your energies only on Facebook or only on Twitter, but you have to focus your energies on every place where your customer is. Social media is your place where your consumer goes to every single website. So one of the first things happen is blogs and news. Now blogs and news have been there on the internet for a long time. Even before Facebook came in, blogging started in 2002-2001 time period, and blogs are the best ways to reach out to the consumers to get your product discovered. Now because people trust influential bloggers. Now bloggers are people who are writing about products, people who are influencing their opinions, who are using words to express themselves better. Now blogs are the new way of writing about something. So there used to be books, there used to be magazines, there used to be newspapers, and now there are supposed to be blogs. And blogs, some of the blogs have become much bigger than newspaper itself because they are influential. So blogs are one of the best ways to influence the users about your product and get your product discovered too. Now second is about news sites. Now all the news which happens in the world actually happens on internet first, and then it happens in the print or the other electronic medias. So make sure that you are covered in news. You have to become a news yourself. Unless you are covered in news, people are not going to discover you. So blogs and news is a very important social media, because when you publish blogs, when you write news, when you get featured in news, when you get featured as guest authors, or your product gets featured in certain blogs, in product forums, there are people who are going to comment on that, because every article, every news item has a comment section. In those comment sections, people are going to talk about your product, they are going to post your links, your backlinks are going to be built. So that's how blogs and news have been very important as a social media strategy, because you can read about your product, what people are talking about. There will be people who are writing about your product, maybe negative, maybe positive, but you have to capture that, feature that everywhere else. Second of the social media aspect is microblogging. Now microblogging is a concept where you express yourself in very short number of words, or you can say 140 characters. Now Twitter made 140 characters very famous, because Twitter is the medium where you have to express very quickly in very less words or characters to express yourself much better. In this case, your value proposition becomes very strong, and you communicate much faster and much better, and you actually can do a lot more postings across the whole platform. Do you know that billions of tweets get exchanged every day on Twitter platform? People comment, people tweet, people reply to each other, people send messages to each other. A lot of network happens on Twitter. There are ways where people say, hey, I want to talk to you, and they send a tweet to another person replies that yes, well, let's fix up a meeting. And people have been communicating one-to-one on Twitter. So, and of course, Amazon has a huge customer support on Twitter. So for example, if you received a bad product from Amazon, or if you have a complaint, or if you have some feedback to give to Amazon, and you send it to Amazon customer support handle on Twitter, they are going to reply within few minutes. Twitter is such active domain that the tweet lives only for a few minutes to a few hours. It doesn't live more than that, but that few hours or that short duration of few minutes or hours works magically for any company. The third one is called social networks. Now this is what you know about social network is because we call it social media. People confuse social media with Facebook. People confuse social media with Google Plus. But social media like Facebook and Google Plus is a network. They're called social networks, and they are there to make people communicate. They are there to make people talk to each other who are friends. They can make groups. They can talk to each other in a various forums. They can talk about opinions. They can share articles. They do a lot more connections. So it's a forum. It's a community. It's a network. It's not the media in itself, but media plays a large part into it, because now media companies, businesses, corporates can be present in these forums. For example, you go to an event, there are people meeting in it, or let's say you go to a wedding, and there are people talking out to each other. They're all known people, they're friends and all, but there are companies who are advertising their products. You can say that, hey, there's a Coca-Cola advertising because Coca-Cola is being used in the product, right? It's an in-product placement happening. Similarly, social networks work in a similar mode, where a lot of people are friends and they're talking to each other, they're communicating, but in between the brands are being exchanged. People share news, people share articles, people share product information to each other, and that's how your product gets communicated. So if you are there in that forum, you can actually hear the first-hand news about your product, the first-hand feedback about your product, and you can actually see that part. Now, Facebook is one of the largest social networks on this earth, and another possible social network, or the good social network going on, is Google Plus. Then there will be small social networks, or the niche social networks, which are famous for individual communities. There will be photographic social networks. There will be social networks based on media domain. There will be social networks based on different interest areas. So you have to be there, because the economy of like, comment and share is very, very popular. If a post is good, people will like it, people will comment on it, people will share the post with others, and every like, comment, share earn a brownie point, and you can count that maybe you can apply a formula of each like you get, you count 1, each comment you get, you count 2, each share you get, you count 3. And with a post, you do a sum total of these numbers. If the maximum the number is, the maximum your reach is. And this is how you can actually do a simple arithmetic on how social media functions. One of the largest part of media is video sharing networks, or video sharing platforms. Now, YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, you can count, and there are number of platforms around, right? There will be live channel platforms like Upstream. YouTube also offer live channels. A lot of live streaming happens on these channels. People watch videos because videos are the most effective. When you watch a post, when you read a post or write a post, it's about 10 seconds to 20 seconds. When you watch a video, you actually spend 30 seconds to 1 minute to maybe 10 minutes, or you watch movies completely online now. So video sharing platforms have become large. Video sharing platform also are community-like platforms where you can run the whole channel. There are commentings. There are people actually talking about what video is good, what is bad. People are doing product reviews on videos. People are commenting on products which are good or bad. And this is how video platforms can be used, because all these platforms are used as information search for a consumer before making a buying decision. Now, the last part happens is social reviews. Now, social reviews are typically the review sites or forums where people are actually collectively doing a review. Now, review sites talk about one particular product. Review sites are focused only on the niche areas of a product. For example, there are review sites based only for cell phone reviews. There are review sites for television reviews. There are review sites for refrigerator reviews. There are review sites for online product reviews. E-commerce website reviews. So there are so many review sites where you need to be present according to your customer segment, so that you can keep in touch with your customers. If there is a product review happening for your product, you should be able to comment on it. You should be able to clarify your position. People visit review sites much before they buy the product. they always look for it. They look for price comparisons, they look for feature comparisons, they actually look for feedback whether anyone else has bought the product or not. Because one of those users' behavior says that if no one else has bought it, maybe the product is not good, because I cannot be the first one to buy it, because people have a fear that the first one generally can be a guinea pig on that product line. So people do look at review sites completely always all the time, and that's why you'll find a lot of businesses actually offer products for reviews much before the launch, and to a lot of hundreds of reviewers and guest bloggers and everyone, so that the product is reviewed much before it hits the market, so that when people are searching, the reviews are available online, the favorable reviews are available online, people have looked at the product in detail, there are influential people who have done the reviews, and this is how it works. So social reviews is one of the aspects of social media marketing now. So in this session, we learned about why social media is so important, and why there are so many channels of social media, not only the Facebook or Twitter. So we learned about blogs and news, we learned about microblogging like Twitter, we learned about social networks like Facebook and Google+, we learned about video sharing platforms like YouTube, Dailymotion, Upstream, Vimeo, and we learned about reviews and comparison and how people behave with social media. And this is one of the important aspects I always want to reiterate. Do not neglect social media, because if you're going to neglect it, or if you're just thinking that social media is about making some post, you're making one big mistake. So learn about social media, learn about how people behave, because this is how you can learn about consumer behaviors. You don't need to do not need to go for psychology lectures, because you can actually learn a whole human psychology using social media. Thank you.